This episode on Love is Blind.
He just refused to let me love him.
Red flag.
And he has gotten a whole crazy handful.
Red flag.
And he irks my nerves and he drives me to the ends of its sanity and fucking love him.
That's a major red flag.
Let's watch Love is Blind continues as we move on to episode 3. And last time we were left with the cliffhanger of Will Giannina accept Damien's proposal? Because she's stopping the whole show to say something herself.
One thing that I don't believe in is rolls.
I f***ing hate pizza rolls.
So stand up, Damien, because you and I are equals.
So I want to ask you, Damien Powers, will you marry me?
Boy, do these two deserve each other. That was corny and emotional. Fits perfectly with Damien's empty box and bow on himself
I am your gift.
during his proposal. So the two cry away and jump right on the Hot Mess Express to marriage and finally meeting each other face to face. But before we get there, we have two more people figuring out if they're ready for an engagement. Mark still needs to decide if he's ready to go all in on Jessica after she nearly dumped him for Barnett. And Barnett has both Elsie and Amber who want him to bend the knee.
Come to King's Landing, bend the knee, or suffer the fate of all traitors.
So Barnett and Mark chat about their relationships, probably because they're like the only ones left still in the pods, and Mark decides the last thing he wants is to be like Barnett.
I don't want to be like Barnett. Wishy-washy, uncertain, because I know what I want. And that's Jessica.
So, you know what that means. Time to cue the up-close and uncomfortable shot of Mark as he heads to his final pod date with Jessica. And all this time, I'm like,
Turn around. But you know what I mean. Turn around.
Mark, dude, I know you feel like this is what you want, man, but she was literally halfway down the aisle with Barnett a day ago. Oh, okay, he's not listening to me.
I want to ask you, will you marry me?
I love that.
Mark and Jessica then share their I love yous and jump for joy over what is sure to be a bright future together with absolutely no drama. But as for Amber, she's not quite feeling the same excitement with Barnett as Mark is with Jessica.
The way he's been interacting with other girls seems so indecisive.
So pretty much the last couple, the last decision to be made in the pods, is whether Barnett wants to be with Amber, Elsie, or anyone at all. And both Amber and Elsie feel confident that it's them he's picking and not the other.
Honestly, I don't see Barnett with anyone else. If he does end up with her, then I was clearly way off.
Cue that creepy shot, as Barnett is headed towards his final decision, and really it comes down to this. For Barnett, Amber is intense, and that intensity is both good and bad. But his worry is that the spark, that intensity he has with her, will eventually fade. While with Elsie, he feels like there's a consistency, and that she could love him forever. So Barnett enters the pod. And right now, it kind of feels like the finale of The Bachelor or Bachelorette, where the first person out of the limo, you know, is always the one who's about to get dumped. So who's it going to be? Who's the first one out of the limo, or the first one in the pod?
It's not you, Elsie.
What a breakup line. It's not you, boo. It's not you. Well, Elsie is pissed. Not just because she was dumped, but because she feels Barnett strung her along until the last moment and let her think she might be getting engaged.
I would have never let you get to this point if it were me.
And Elsie is out. Next is Amber's turn, but will Barnett even propose? Will he be ready to actually get down on one knee and make a lifelong commitment to Amber? And man, these shots have to stop. So, will Barnett actually be able to take the plunge?
Will you marry me?
And the Barnett pod saga comes to an end. Him and Amber get to meet, and we all get to move out of the pods and into the honeymoon suites. Of course, before we get there, the last three couples need to see each other face to face. Damien and Giannina are first, the two pod dating poets.
She's touched me without touching me. Seen me without seeing me.
Just want to process him.
Hope you're wearing your bow, Damien. All right, hit the doors.
Oh my God, finally.
And another couple comes together happy as can be. Thanks, producers, for only casting hot people. Oh, and the bow's on her now. Alright, next up is Barnett and Amber.
Holy. Wow.
Oh, thank goodness she's hot. So both are happy, and everyone's just happy. No one so far has been like, oh man, no thanks, I'm out of here.
I refuse to let you change your mind again.
What?
I'm just gonna stick that right on there right now.
Red flag.
So Barnett and Amber are in a great mood, super happy, kissing some more, and kissing even more, before the producers tell them to scram because we have more show to get to, and he's running back. Last on the docket is Mark and Jessica. Will Mark still be madly in love when he sees Jessica? Will Jessica love that?
Well, could be worse.
So Mark and Jessica meet. Mark is super happy, and Jessica is emotional. Now, she does say she's happy and all that, but honestly, the only way Jessica would have been truly ecstatic is if the doors opened up and this walked out. But attraction is always something that can be built. Love doesn't happen in a moment, so this honeymoon that's ahead of all these couples is going to be especially important for Mark and Jessica. And with all that, the couples are engaged. Oh, and don't worry about this photo, this is nothing. And besides, we don't have enough rooms at the honeymoon hotel, so it's Lauren and Cameron, Carlton and Diamond, Kelly and Kenny, Giannina and Damien, Barnett and Amber, and Jessica and Mark, who are headed to CANCUN, Mexico to enjoy their honeymoon and start to explore the physical aspect of their relationship. And no one else. And at this point, it's just 4 weeks away until their wedding date. Alright, so let's have these couples arrive, enter their hotel rooms, and begin the first night of their honeymoon. Giannina and Damien are the first in their rooms, and they get to enjoy a romantic dinner out on their balcony. But Giannina's a little distracted.
I'm just telling you, it's been 435 days.
435 days since what?
Since my last dental checkup, what do you think, Damien? But Damien is ready to take things at whatever pace it needs to be.
I will move at your pace. The sex is not important.
Dude, her pace is like lightning fast. Are you even listening?
And what about dessert?
I am dessert.
Oh man, Damien, stop. After Damien takes the hint and goes for a nap with Giannina, we move on to Kelly and Kenny, who are just laying on the love language.
He's a really good kisser, so I think he has some talent elsewhere.
Eggplant emoji.
So these two have nothing bad to say about each other since leaving the pods and arriving in Mexico. Let's next check in on Lauren and Cameron. They're enjoying sitting by the bathtub and constantly rubbing each other. So they look good.
What more do we need?
These two are off to bed for what is sure to be nothing but quiet conversation while things are popping with Diamond and Carlton. Now the attraction seems to be there, but the only forking that's going to happen tonight is this.
Hello, Mexican police. Come get this lady.
Cause Diamond is expressing that all of a sudden, Carlton's got a different energy than he did in the pod. Is he nervous? Is he uncomfortable?
You make daddy feel good.
Okay, no thank you. Oh, and he even has it on his hat. Of course, Diamond's right on the money. Something is off with Carlton. He hasn't told her that he's fluid, which is probably something you should open up to your fiancé about. If you trust them enough to propose, you should probably share something as important as that. Next, we're checking up on Mark and Jessica.
I love hearing the waves crash on the beach. That's my favorite thing in the whole world.
Uh-oh, we're reaching new octaves here.
Literally the best spicy margarita, jalapeno margarita.
Hi!
Jessica is just super stoked to be on vacation.
Sure.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it.
But she's also having trouble meshing the voice of Mark that she's heard for so long with who's here in front of her.
I would say he's not the typical guy that I would go for.
There we have it. Jessica's then like, let's take this slow. The only dessert we're having tonight is room service. And Mark is fine to let their relationship grow at Jessica's pace. Last up in their suite is Amber and Barnett, who are already hitting the hot tub. And when Jessica comes out in her bathing suit, Barnett's like... She just straight up turned this man 5 years old again. Yeah, these two aren't having any trouble with the physical attraction. Alright, so things have gone pretty well so far here in Mexico. But as the night comes to an end, you know the show wouldn't leave us without a cliffhanger. Carlton, is ready to open up.
In the past, I have dated both genders.
Diamond is taken off guard, and she doesn't know how to answer. She says it's a lot to take in, and Carlton starts getting upset. Diamond says she needs time to think and process, and she goes off, ending the episode. So there you have it. That's it for episode 3 of Love is Blind. Hope you enjoyed this recap, and be sure to like and subscribe if you did. More Love is Blind and other Bachelor content is on its way soon. So until then, Bachelor Fantake, out.
He just refused to let me love him. Ugh.
Red